Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday morning. So, as we plug on through, and it should be pouring rain for me all day, so not a whole lot to get done outside, so I'll do some stuff inside. I wanted to bring up something that I was sent in an email yesterday by Jeff Welch. And it's actually something that's extremely important and something I never thought of. Okay. And this is one of the things that I say to you guys all the time is that we share information and I learn from you guys just as much as you learn from me. Now, before I even start this, I'm going to put a disclaimer out here. I am not a medical professional in any shape or size or anything like that. So I'm giving you ideas, but I would certainly suggest before doing anything, talk to somebody that's got some medical training. Okay. But just giving you this. Now, as preppers, we all know to have medical equipment. Okay. We all have tourniquets and splints and bandages and bleed stop and you name it. Okay. We even have tampons to stop bullet wounds, whatever. Though there's questionable how well that's effective, but it's better than stuffing it with paper towels. But Jeff brought up something that was brilliant that I, like I said, never thought about it. He was talking about blood. Now, I'm going to give you a scenario. I know my blood type. I'm betting you guys probably all know yours, okay? I'm actually not sure what Mrs. P's blood type is. Do you know the blood type of your spouse, your kids? Certainly anybody in your mag who you're going to count on? Knowing somebody's blood type could be extremely important, okay? Because if you've got to give them any sort of transfusion or whatever, give them blood because they're wounded of any reason, there's certain blood types you can and certain blood types you can't give them, all right? So the first thing I want to show you here is there are blood type test kits available on the market. And I would advise getting them, and I will be getting some for myself because, like I said, while I'm not sure about Mrs. P's, I can ask her right now. People in my mag, I can ask them about it. But you are going to have situations where other people come into your group just by necessity in an SHTF event. And it's probably not going to be the first thing on your mind to ask them. It's like, oh, what skills do you have? Oh, what food do you have? And oh, by the way, what's your blood type? Okay. So all of a sudden you have somebody injured. You need to test them for blood type. So you can do that. So then the next thing comes up. And again, you're certainly going to need somebody who's got some medical training in this. So this is maybe somebody goes and takes a CNA course. I think my daughter took it. It's a couple of days long or something like that. But, at least you'll learn how to do things. How to draw blood. Does anybody in your mag know how to draw blood? Have they any experience at it? Okay. We've all been at the doctor's office, the Red Cross, wherever, and had somebody do it. I know when they take blood from me, it's a pain in the ass because my veins are very deep. And so they've tried in my arms. They've had to take blood from me from my wrist, which sucks. Okay. But then I also have very small veins. So they actually have to use a baby needle on me to do it. All right. I know that, but certainly nobody else is going to know that, and certainly if they're not trained. So then the next question is, do you have needles? Okay, and here's one right here, 16 gauge needles. And this again is from my research on the gauge needles that you use for drawing blood. In my case, needing baby needles, so it would be a smaller gauge needle. Do you have collection bags? Multiple ones, okay? Because in case of somebody's injured and they're laying out on the kitchen table and the person's O positive and you're getting people in your mag to donate blood, you can't donate one bag of blood. It's done. Okay. So you need, they're not reusable. Let's just put it that way. Okay. So, here's what I'm talking about. These are the collection bags. Now, the little stake or whatever it is, you can jerry rig something like that for it. I don't think you need to go out and start buying equipment, though. If I'm wrong, somebody please tell me. Okay. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional by any stretch of the imagination. So, but these are things to have and skills that you might need to do, because when you can draw blood, great. But now that you've drawn blood and you have all this blood in the bag, do you know how to do it the opposite way and get the blood from the bag into your wounded mag member? There's a little bit more to it than this. I mean, we all think, oh, I've got all this medical equipment. Putting a bandage on a bullet wound doesn't do any good. Okay. Like I mentioned in the video the other day, have you practiced suturing? And a lot of you came up and said there's actually training aids that you can buy that you can practice on suturing and not have to use the chicken idea. Like I said, again, like I said, no medical knowledge, that's not my forte. Okay. That's Mrs. Mountaintop Prepper. That's her forte. But, having things like a blood type test kit, having things like the needles, the bags, even if you're in my shape and not the medical professional in the group, okay, everybody should have some, because it's not the only responsibility of your medical professional to have everything. Just like it's not the only responsibility of the gardener to have all the garden tools and to have all the seeds, or it's not the responsibility of the security people for them to be the only ones with weapons or ammunition or something like that. Everybody needs to have this. You're never going to have enough. If your medical professional in your mag has them, great. How many do they have? 10, 20, 50? How many people in your mag? What happens when the 11th person gets injured and you've got 10 people, or only 10 bags of blood? Or each person needs more than one bag of blood, or whatever it would be. This is something that's definitely worth having. Now, I'm going to put links down here. The blood test kit, I think I can get that one right without or the blood type test kit, I think I can get that one right without anybody saying. I'm going to put a couple of links down below for you to look at, or for you to ask somebody if those are appropriate in your scenario, for blood bags and for needles. Just all I did was a quick internet search for them, see where I could find them. But definitely something worthwhile getting, because as we've all talked many times, injuries happen. And while we may be great about having everything we need in tourniquets and splints and God knows what to get the person who's wounded stabilized, recovery is another part of it. Just because you've got the guy's arm, where he's got a bad cut and he's bleeding profusely, and you've got a tourniquet on there to stop the bleeding, he can't go through the rest of his life with the tourniquet. Otherwise the arm falls off, because need blood. So just something to think about. But I wanted to thank Jeff for this. This was a brilliant idea and something that I will be adding to my preps immediately. Have a good Thursday. Pinball out.